I have started.
They're having a big think, everyone. They're having a big think about the topic that they already know that they're going to cover.
I've started trying to use professional film and photography cameras.
Sony A7.
Oh!
Don't boo me.
I get one. I've never used one. I get one. It's not boo on your topic. It's boo on the way you introduce the topic.
I don't know how to explain it.
You started using a camera.
I fucking bought a camera. All right, everyone. Reader. I started buying a camera. Is that better? Or is the semantics you want?
No, it's my fault.
That's what I thought. Sorry, let me... I've started this week. We're talking about using a camera that I bought.
Oh, it sounds perfect.
Stunning.
Why didn't you start with that one?
I have for a while been like, nah, I should probably get a professional camera at some point. You might ask me, Jett, how long's a while? And I'd say about a week before I bought the camera.
I was going to say like 7 years. I think we're using different scales of maybe I should. I'm using the first time you ever said it, and you're using when you actually thought about doing it seriously, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I would say for a few months now, especially in the line of work that I have, there's...
Which is? You want to narrow it down to one? I dare you to make it fewer than 4.
I would not dare to try. I think my brain would implode. I've thought about, I could get into cameras at some point. But one thing about cameras is I don't know anything about them. If I tried to get into it, it's just like it's a niche that I've enjoyed not knowing about. I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod before. I might have, but
I don't think so.
There are some practices and medias and things in the vaguest term that I dive deep into. I hyperfixate on it and I'm like, cool, I want to make this thing. I want to do this thing. Let me learn everything about it. And then I have that skill. It's wild the amount of skills that I've learned just like in the past, 6 months or a year. Like it's over 10, deep skills.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've kind of enjoyed not knowing some things.
I have this for coding. I'm like, don't tell me. I'm sure it's interesting. I bet it's fascinating. I don't want to know.
Because you can just sort of enjoy it at face value. The magic and the mystery stays there. You know, when you're a kid, you see something pretty mundane and you're like, wow, that's magic to me. I don't know how that works.
Traffic light go green? How does it know?
Exactly. Something like a traffic light. And it's like, it just knows and it just switches and then the cars go. That's crazy. How do you drive? You sit in your passenger seat while your parent drives. And you're I don't know how they're making the car go, but they're just doing it.
Crazy.
And now I'm a fucking adult and I know how things work.
Oh, lame.
And that sucks. And cameras have been a thing where I'm like, wow, I don't have to, when I look at a photo or a video, I don't have to analyze it and scrutinize it and know, they clearly did this with this or how, they could have made this better or whatever. Or here are the choices made here. I could just be dumb for a bit.
Must be nice.
Once again, I want to emphasize that we still don't know which one of us has ADHD.
It's true. It could be anyone.
It could be either one of us. Put your votes somewhere. Send them in. stinishedit@gmail.com. And cameras were like that for a while for me, except I decided that I wanted to use one.
To get more gooder photos?
Yeah. A while ago, I needed to do a shoot for my board game, which you will have heard a promo for at the start of this episode. I'm saying this now so that I record it later. And I needed to do a shoot for that. But for that, I had to borrow a camera from my sister and borrow lighting equipment from my work friend. So you put your hand up?
I have a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me, teacher.
Question?
Yeah. Why'd you put the worst
No, it's
photo
may you.
Oh, fuck.
It's may you put the whatever you were going to say.
Well, no, I'm going to go
sit
to the
down and piss your
bathroom in
pants,
my
you
seat
fuck.
and see how you like that. Tinkle, tinkle.
does it smell like piss in my classroom? Oh,
What do you think?
I've not once let one student get up to pee. Why does it smell like piss in my classroom? Oh, the floor feels like the sticky floor in New Guernica on Smith Street, Melbourne. It feels like I'm stepping through a carpet made of goop.
What do you think puts the kick in that kick energy drink, Teach? That's my question. Where do you think that naturally occurring lemongrass flavour comes from, Teach? That's my question.
Tell me what your question is.
No, the question was the piss in your can thing.
Was it?
No, my question was why'd you put one of the most bizarre facial expressions of mine ever captured on camera, and that's saying a lot because there have been a lot of weird ones, as the banner image.
Yeah, look, I'm so sorry for this.
Fucking now you're sorry. Now it's too late.
I realize I haven't actually talked to you about that at all. Have I?
Jesus. No, not at all.
Yeah, okay. So, look, here's the thing. It's a really funny photo.
It's dynamic.
It's dynamic.
Got range.
Some would say it's kinetic.
Some would say that. Here's the problem with having a nice distribution of stuff. Like you know how when you have a bell curve, there's got to be someone on the bottom. So you know how you have a nice range of expressions in that photo. Charlie is bemused and Ty is smiling, right? And someone else is laughing. I'm the one who gets the shit confused. I'm losing this game. I don't know what to say, and my lips are peeled back like Two-Face. So conceptually, I appreciate the image. However.
It's a photo of you looking funny.
As the designated corpse in that image, I'm not too happy about it.
Look, I do have an alternate photo. I have an alternate photo, but the bell curve is in his belly. You look really confused. Charlie looks still lovely, but slightly less lovely, but still lovely. And then Ty looks still happy, but a little less happy. It's like the bell curve is squashed, you look like it's a decent photo of you. However, it's not as good as a photo as this one where you look just like, I don't even know how to put words to it. But I love the photo so much, and I love you so much, and I hope that is a Band-Aid that will heal the wound in which I have inflicted.
You keep pandering, buddy. We'll see.
But okay, to be fair, that was one of the first times that I've really taken photos on a professional camera. And now I still don't know how to use them. I have one of my own. I bought one of my own. I'm holding it right now.
I can see it.
Do you want to hear about the camera that I bought?
I want you to tell me as many numbers as you can. I want you to list so this is a Sony PC DRX with an XL 360 lens and a 420 1080 969 420 69-bit fucking screen.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Knew it. Yeah, what do you got? Tell me. Describe.
Describe my goal when getting a camera is I had a couple of goals. Number one,
take photos.
Yeah, it was. I assumed that it will be able to take. Doesn't need to be said. Number one was I want to spend less than $1,500.
Hey, you can get for less than $1,500?
Mental stability.
Critical medication that you can't live without.
Yes, but you know what else? I could spend it on a camera. Apparently,
yes.
My original plan was to go for under 1,000.
Yeah,
that soon became out of the picture. So I was like 1,500 is what I want. Let me say what I need to say here.
Go ahead.
Enough getting distracted, you neurodivergent fuck.
It's one of us.
It's one of us. It could be either of us. It could be Jett. The more we talk, it literally could be either of us, I think. Oh, there's a truck going by again. So, that was number one. Number two was I wanted to have USB-C. I wanted to have USB-C because all my new stuff is USB-C. I wanted to connect to USB-C. Number three, it needs to be able to shoot good photo, but video needs to be 4K. I need 4K video. Anyways, basically all three of those I kind of compromised on. I ended up getting the camera body of a Sony A7R II, which is from 2015. It does not have USB-C. I did get it for $950.
Oh, hey.
Which is really, really good. And it can shoot 4K, but only up to 30 frames a second, and only if you set it to the NTSC mode, so the like American regional mode.
Weird.
Because things are still region locked for some reason.
The heck?
If you shoot in the PAL Australian mode, it is, I think you can shoot up to 24 or 25 frames a second.
25.
Very weird.
It's still 24, except we're going to make it just ever so slightly faster so it doesn't line up with any software.
It'll just flip the image upside down. And so but that was just the camera body, and I needed a camera lens. So for a lens, I got one of the kind of the stock standard lens for this style of Sony camera, which is a 28 to 70 millimeter lens that has manual focus and manual aperture as well, which is good. It means I can just shoot at a range of things and don't have to just be like one distance away from things. I can do a zoomy zoom, because honestly, from using cameras on phones for a while, I've gotten used to being able to do zoomy zooms.
It's true.
Imagine if I brought up this camera and couldn't do a zoomy zoom.
Oh my God. You'd have to walk?
Yeah.
You'd have to move your arms?
Yeah. Well,
Lame.
I mean, I currently have to move my arms to do a zoomy zoom, but I'd have to move my legs, and that's too much.
You can raise your arms anytime, baby.
This is the ideal camera for me would have been the A7 III, which came out a couple of years later. That has 4K. It's the photos are a little less good. So this has the megapixels for photos. This is a really good photography camera, like wildly good. It gets great detail. But it lacks in compared to the A7 III in video. Like, this is really shit at low light video. It's not really shit, it's just quite shit. Also, one of the things while learning how to fucking use this camera, the first thing that I was really shooting with it for was for a video, and like it looked dog shit, and I couldn't get the colors correct.
Did
and
you
all
shoot
of
it
the
in our
LUTs.
apartment?
Huh?
Did you shoot it in our apartment where the natural light is all on one side of the room and blocked by a building?
Yes, however, I did bring every single light that we have in the apartment, including
Pulling them out of the walls.
And to make the light go further, to get a big reflection from a big light, because I didn't want it directly onto the subject, I pulled, this is a hot tip for anyone, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen this, I pulled off my wardrobe door because my wardrobe has these big fucking mirrors on them, like it's a mirror door. So I just pulled that off the railing, carried it downstairs, and used that to reflect and diffuse the light.
That's good. That's
Hot
good
tip.
stuff. Hot tip.
Yeah. So, but still, after recording, it took me ages. And it's just taken ages to like learn how to use a camera. I've looked at stupid amounts of YouTube videos. I've gone on to different websites. Color has been the main issue, as I mentioned, because you can shoot raw video on this, which is like log. There are a couple of main things that I learned that I thought would be good for me to relay to the listeners. If any of you are thinking of getting into professional camera work,
Great,
there are a couple of fundamentals that you want to know. So
I
the
know
things
for a
that
fact that there are multiple people who listen to this podcast who know a lot about cameras. So my plea to you as the person in charge of the inbox is please get this right.
I absolutely won't. I already thought about this before we started recording. This is going to be like the episode that we did on driving a manual car, where I'm like, I've just started this thing and I think I know something, but realistically, I fucking don't know anything and everything's wrong.
Nice. Great.
Stunning. So the things I want to cover are how it fundamentally works in a fucked way, how taking photos and sensor and light works in a fucked way, and it's really
Backwards
annoying.
And upside down. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Actually, this isn't backwards and upside down because it's got a digital sensor, it's mirrorless. So it was actually the right way up. And how RAW/log photography/videography respectively works.
Yeah, got no idea. You'll have to give me that one from the ground up.
Sick. So when you're using a camera, you often got options like automatic or manual mode. Automatic, it tries to figure stuff out for you. Manual, it's where you have to figure it out and get it wrong. You've got three main settings to sort of work out the image of your video. You've got the aperture, which changes basically the level of blurriness outside your focus. So the more blurry the bits outside your focus are, the less light you need for the photo to look light. You have shutter speed, which is how quickly your photo gets taken. It might be 1/60th of a second, 1/100th of a second, whatever. So the quicker that is, the more light you need for it to look light. Or if the slower it is, think of like a long exposure, like it'll hang there for a moment to get the most detail. Think of on your iPhone when you take a photo in night mode, how it's like when you take the photo, it's like, hold still for a bit while we try and get all of the info. That's what like a low shutter speed is. And then lastly, there's ISO, which stands for something.
I don't know.
Image sense optima.
Yeah.
And that is just basically adjusting how much light is let in. All of this stuff, all three of these, it's all light.
Yeah.
So to get a good balanced image, you have to adjust these three sliders basically, and it's annoying. It's annoying because no matter what you do, it's going to be probably bad in one of them, unless you have a really good camera. Just say, I want more of the subject to be in focus. I don't want a very small aperture or very large aperture, whichever one. I want less of it to be blurry. Well, now I need more light to come in to make it a balanced image. So maybe I'll make the shutter speed longer. Like, so it takes longer to take a photo. But my subject's moving. So I need to keep that short. But then if I raise the ISO, then it's going to have like fuzziness or pixelation kind of thing. Graininess is the word I'm looking for, throughout the image. So the ISO kind of changes the quality. You want that as low as possible. So yeah, that's annoying. But the way I've figured it out is I've worked out my priorities.
Press auto?
Press auto is a good way to do it. However, I have other ways of figuring out my priorities.
What do you got?
Yeah, it's basically the order in which I said, which is figure out how much you want to be blurry. Set it to as blurry as possible, and then if that's too blurry, work from there. But just make the aperture as blurry as possible. That way, you need the least amount of light. To what works. And then go for that shutter speed. Figure out how fast your subject's going to move. Is it going to be, are you filming a cheetah or are you filming a tortoise? Does the tortoise have those super speed boots on? Did the tortoise steal Sonic's boots? Famously, Sonic gets his speed power from his boots, from his little Tootsie Reds.
Wait. So if a tortoise steals Sonic's boots, does it wear them like diagonally, or like both front legs just like commando running?
It's front legs, but then the back legs do get fucked.
Yeah.
Like they get grazed to hell.
Does the tortoise have to murder like Sonic and like Knuckles or something?
I don't know how murderous this tortoise is. It's up to the tortoise, really.
Well, I'm presuming Sonic isn't just going to let someone walk off with his magic speed boots.
No, they're going to run off with the magic speed boots.
Great point. What can Sonic do? Can't catch up. All you got to do is get Sonic while he's sleeping.
I'm Sonic. Got to go regular speed now because that fucking tortoise stole my boots.
Man, you get outrun by a tortoise. Shut up. It's a sore point for me.
Not as sore as those tortoise's back legs, I'll tell you that much. And so all of this has really made me appreciate how much fucking phones do, because I took a video last night on this and I was like, I don't really care. I'm not actually going to adjust anything. I'm not even going to use I'm not going to film it in S-Log. I'm just going to film it in MP4. And it looked kind of just like what my phone would do.
Damn it.
But also, I bought a camera that was specifically meant for photography and doesn't really do videography that well and isn't good in low light. And I filmed in low light in video.
Right.
So anyways, those are the knowledges that I've knowledged. Oh, also, if you're filming with this particular one, the A7R2, check it, make sure it's 2 stops brighter than it should be. Set the settings to be 2 stops brighter because it just, whatever, someone recommended that and that works.
It's working.
So for one person who has this camera, do that if you didn't already.
Have you done much photo photography with it?
A little bit, and it looks pretty good.
Okay.
It actually looks really good. I can, again, as long as I shoot in RAW, I can really adjust the photo to look however I want. So after learning how to use the shutter speed and the ISO and the f-stop, now I actually kind of know how to balance shit out, which is something that I didn't know when we were filming the promo for Pathological, my board game, because really it is a miracle that any of those photos turned out good. So you should be thankful that you're mugs on any of them.
Goodness
Anyways,
me.
have I yapped on about this fucking camera shit enough?
Would you recommend this camera, or are you going to say to people, buy the newer one if you want to do video?
Well, the A7 III is only from, I think it's from 2019. And that's what everyone really recommends. It is so good that people don't really recommend buying any newer ones, like the A7 IV or whatever.
Right.
It's kind of not worth it. The A7 III is the best.
When you make a product too good.
Legitimately. And I sort of was just on a budget enough, and I was like, I don't really care. One more thing that I required the camera to be was kind of shitty. I wanted it banged up. I wanted it used. I wanted it to have taken a bunch of photos because cameras basically have an expiration date, and that's depending on the amount of photos they've taken. And that's what I ended up finding. It took a couple of days of waiting, but this has like scuff marks and does not look perfect, and that's what I wanted because I knew that it would be cheaper, and it was. But if you have the money, get the A7 III. If you don't, A7R2 is a really good compromise, and it has better photo quality than the A7 III does. But I do think going for a Sony, like historically people go for Canons or Nikons, and those are good for photography, but for a good balanced camera, the Sony ones are great. And I've heard good things about the Lumix.
iPhone?
No, not the. Well, here's the thing. Yes, also the iPhone, and I could have put that money because with the lens that I got as well was I think $250. So all up I spent $1,200, which is really good for getting a low end professional camera like this. For a couple of $100 more, I could have bought myself a brand new phone. Should I have? Who's to say?
No, because this is a camera and you learn new stuff.
I learned new stuff. Now I don't have any magic in my life anymore.
Now you can take worse photos and you have no youthful wonder.
Exactly. Oh my God.
But you do have $200 more.
I do.
But you're about to spend $1,000 on critical meds.
One of us is.
Oh, who's to say?
I think I already admitted that part was me. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I my understanding of this bit was that you're buying meds, but we don't know who's got the ADHD.
Oh yeah, one of us is buying meds illegally for the other person.
Maybe. We don't know. You can't say
know.
that. That would be confirming it one way or the other. We don't
and
know.
Also, probably bad for us legally to put on air.
At this point, it's not even making the top 10.